would you do if you came home from work one day and you found that your spouse had been cheating on you for years? About 5-6 years ago, I was out mowing the grass one day at my house. I like to do that. I like to maintain my own yard. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do it. I do a little bit of gardening now. But anyway, I was out mowing the grass, and late October, early November, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and this house was for rent next to me. And all of a sudden this truck pulls up, and they start unloading furniture, and there's this guy, and he's got a couple kids, and truckloads of furniture are showing up. I'm like, oh wow, somebody's moving in, that's cool. Wave to him, whatever, mowing my grass, and going about my business. Comes along Thanksgiving weekend. I'm out putting up Christmas lights for Christmas. I love to do that as well. My kids love it. Putting out Christmas lights. Here's my new neighbor out. He's kind of putting up lights. So I wave to him and talk to him a little bit. And he comes over and we start talking, and he's like starting to tell me his story. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. You know, this guy's willing to tell me his story. And he's like, you know, I don't even know why I'm telling you this stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I know why you're telling me this stuff. But he's like, I don't even know why I'm telling you this stuff. I just feel comfortable sharing all this with you. And he'd recently found out that his wife had been cheating on him, and she'd been cheating on him for several years now. A couple different times, different people, I believe. And I said, well, there's no such thing as a coincidence, and pretty much all events are serendipity. That's the way I see it. It's like, it's not by chance that you happen to move in next to me. And he's like, well, why is that? And I started talking to him. I've been teaching seminars for years. I work with people. I've had the pleasure of helping people through any broken heart situation that they've been through, from death, divorce, abuse, failure. And so we started to talk, and I started to share with him again the wave, that everything has two sides, and that the first law of thermodynamics, energy and matter can neither be created or destroyed. It can only change form. So I went into the house and I got him one of my the transformation event seminar. I got him one of the workbooks for that and gave it to him and started walking him through it a little bit. And he's like, wow, that's interesting stuff. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good stuff. It helped a lot of people. And I was like, I got a seminar coming up here in Atlanta, the transformation event coming up in about 30 days. Why don't you come? And he said, okay, I will. Time passes, the event comes, and I said, so I'm talking to him, and I says, why don't you go ahead and bring your wife? They were still married, just separated. Why don't you go ahead and bring your wife? Turns out the seminar was on a Saturday, the beginning of, I believe it was Christmas break, or maybe it was further down, maybe winter break here for people to go skiing. And they were going skiing out to Colorado. They were going to go as a family and so on. And so he and his wife come to the seminar. And I start doing what it is that we do there and working with the people there. And this guy is carrying around a tremendous amount of rage, tremendous amount of just being pissed at his wife for what had gone on. Now remember, energy and matter can either be created or destroyed. It can only change form. So part of this process of healing your wounded, your broken heart, is to realize that whatever you're accusing other people of doing to you, you do as well in your own way and in your own unique form. And again, it's based on our feelings and our emotions. So I said to him, it's not the action. It's not the action of the cheating and the whatever that he was categorizing it. It's your feelings. How do you feel about this? How does this make you feel? That's what we want to get in touch with. Write that down, how that makes you feel. And he listed them, and I was like, all right, now let's go to work and find how have you made others feel the exact same way, but in your own way and in your own form, just different. We all we all are human. We all have every single human trait. They've been able to give a word to around 2,600 of them, but it's literally infinite, the human emotions and human personality traits. So it's like, you are all things, you express all things, you repress all things. You either express or repress in your own way and in your own form. So it's like, where do you do what you think your wife has done? In other words, where have you made other people feel X, Y, Z? And we went, we found him, and he was just like, whoa. Just felt kind of crushed in that moment. Then we go to work to the next step, and we're like, all right, well, how does all this stuff serve? How does it serve the world? How does it serve others? How has this served you? How has it served your wife? How has it served your kids? And we find how it serves the world to where we hit what I call the transformation point. When you find that transformation point, your heart opens. So we bring him to this point. His heart opens. Tears of love. And this is a stoic gentleman, a stoic guy. One of those guys who was raised tough. You're not allowed to show emotion. You're not allowed to show love. You're not allowed to express this love. We all have love inside us. Every single person on the planet. I know that without question. Every single person. You're not allowed to express that. That's how he was raised. So you can imagine in his relationship with his wife. He wasn't exactly expressing love in a way that she needed to feel loved, right? So that was that whole dynamic going on. His heart started to open. Tears of love. You'll hear me say that a lot because that's the only way I can describe it. That's what they are. They're tears of love. They've done tests and they've discovered that the chemical makeup of sad tears are different than happy tears and different from centered love tears. It's all different chemical makeup. So it's tears of love. And he and his wife embrace in a hug, both of them sobbing, crying, tears of love for each other for what was going on there. He was opening his heart probably for the first time in their entire relationship, opening their heart. And they've been married for, I don't know at this point, it was 18, 20 years, something like that. He was opening his heart. So, again, this was in the wintertime. So I was having another event back in Atlanta, probably in May. It was somewhere around May, same year. And again, I invited him to come, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll come. And he was bringing his older son. He had two sons, bringing his older son. And so as the day progressed, where it is that we're opening our hearts, learning how to open our heart and heal our broken hearts and so on, most everybody there went pretty quickly. They worked the work and they got done and they finished up. And the way it ended up, it amazes me sometimes how serendipitous the universe is. In my study of life, I really realized there are no accidents. There are no coincidences. It all happens for a reason and very serendipitously. Everyone else finished up and I could tell they were hesitating and it was going to take a while, so I just told everybody else, and I kind of felt that again in my sense. Everybody else, go ahead and go. It's okay. You guys can leave. And so now it was just the father and the son. And I knew very strongly, call your wife and have her bring your other son down and let's get this handled, right? The whole family here. And he's like, okay, so he calls his wife. Sure enough, she comes down, brings the other son. So I'm sitting there working with the entire family now. The two boys still were hating their mother for what had gone on. So we're now working with the entire family. And I'm working with the boys and getting them to start to open their hearts. And then the father starting to open his heart. And then the mother starting to open her heart. And these are teenage boys at the time, like they're 13, 14 years old. And maybe 14, 15, but they're teenage boys. They're starting to open their hearts. They're having tears of love for their mom. Tears of love for their mom. They all get together, all four of them, in a hug, in an embrace. It's just tears and tears. And saying, again, if you remember from the other videos, when you hit the center, all you can say are, thank you, and I love you. And this family just embracing in this hug, saying, thank you, thank you. And they realized the blessings in this whole thing that had gone on, And the boys were thanking their mother. And in this embrace, the family, just loving, opening their hearts, probably for the first time ever, truly communicating love for each other and mending, healing their broken hearts. They've gone on to create a great family dynamic. Just, probably 6 months after that, they called me over for something, and I went over, and the mother was struggling with something. It was something from her past, and we worked her through that as well. She opened her heart to that and opened her heart to love, and they've just been able to create this amazing love that they never would have experienced. This is the serendipity of it. They would not have experienced this open-hearted, heal your broken heart love had they not journeyed the journey that they journeyed, which was the mother doing what she had done. And it ended up serving her entire family. So what would you do if you came home from work and you found that your spouse had been cheating on you, maybe even for years? How would you handle that? Would you blow up and explode, or would you suffer a broken heart like most of us do? Of course. But then what are you going to do? Are you going to go to work and find both sides, find that the love is still there, open your heart and love who you are for what you are as you are, so that you can truly mend your broken heart? Again, I would love for you to ask me any question. Leave a comment specifically. Any comment that you would love to leave, I'd love to read it. I love to help people. It's what I was born to do. This is it. This is what I do. I look forward to seeing you at a live event on a live